filming at the Olympia weekend was absolutely amazing. Of course, Mr. Olympia is the title, the main title in the bodybuilding world, and to film there was an honor. Ever since we started, making the film, I was looking forward to filming at the Mr. Olympia. All of the bodybuilders obviously arrived to compete, so they're all there. It's funny, kind of like they talked a lot about each other, when they were training in their own hometowns, and then suddenly they were all there backstage, interacting with each other. It was very dynamic to see that.
There's this, they're trying to get there, they've got to fight all day. There's a lot of people out there wondering, can he do it again? There's no way I'm gonna do it.
What's interesting, right before the Olympia, the guys that they're very exhausted, they go through a process where they lose a lot of weight, a lot of water weight, they deplete their bodies with water. So they're very tired, and but they're still very competitive. So a lot of times backstage you see them, and they kind of, they're very tired, but then they go on stage and they kind of open up and they use all that energy that they have for the show. But for me, the most incredible footage comes from backstage. That's what people don't get a chance to see. If you just see Olympia, if you see a Olympia program, you don't see the backstage, and that's where I wanted to concentrate on making the bulk of the filming for the Olympia. It was very important to capture it on camera, so we had a lot of cameras going. Again, we had probably 10 cameras filming at the Mr. Olympia. We had front stage, backstage, side stage, everything. So Lou Ferrigno was a guest of the Olympia, so it was cool to see his interaction with Phil, Kai, and other bodybuilders. And I was talking to him about kind of like comparing bodybuilders from the 70s, 80s, and how they are now. He was kind of talking about more or less. Back then it was more camaraderie. The most incredible, part of filming the Olympia was how close it got at the end. The Olympia, you have the pre-judging, which is on Friday night, and then you have the main event on a Saturday. So you got so close on a Friday night that usually if you win in the pre-judging, you win the whole show for the most part. That's how it works. But in this case, it was close and it was very uncertain who was winning. So people kind of left the pre-judging thinking that you can go either way, really. So it got so close. It was always pretty much a tie at that point. And so that's why the next night for the main event, it was so nerve-wracking because people didn't know who was going to win. It could have, and those 24 hours between the pre-judging and the main event means so much. Your body can change tremendously. It's funny, in bodybuilding, your body can change within hours. Some competitions you have pre-judging, let's say at noon, and then you have a main event at like 6 p.m. and the bodybuilders, they go through, they either eat something or they go through some kind of routine, and then the whole, the body changes. There were, about 20 guys competing at the Olympia, and we had our main 7 characters that are in the film that we followed, but I wanted to make sure that we cover, other guys as well, so we give everybody, opportunity to be in the film. The guys that not necessarily in the top 10 even, to show their struggle, to show their journey, even in that small amount of time. But when they announced the top 10, and some of our guys that were in the film, some of our cast members didn't make it to the top 10, and it was it was sad, because you spent so much time with them on the road, and you spent so much time filming with them. It was sad to see them, of course, not make it to the top 10. But at the same time, there's always next year, and these guys are so motivated. They didn't make it to the top 10, but you can see that they're gonna put so much dedication into it to come back next year and make it to the Olympia stage. Because even being at the Olympia and competing is a huge privilege. And if you're on that stage, that means you're one of the best.